Hi, you guys. What's going on, Bill? What's going on, Chris? Chris from Walkabout Games. Good to see you again, Chris. How is everything, man? I seem to bump into you guys now and again in some other streams. Let's get our ambience going here. La da 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 da. Came to check out the Void Admiral. Yeah, I printed up a bunch of ships. And enough to have a little demo game with Jake and Jesse. Try it out. And yeah. I'm excited. Looking forward to playing it. It's a pretty good game. It's pretty good. It's basically a much more elegant and accessible, I'll throw in the word accessible, a version of Battlefleet Gothic. Okay? It's going, laughing out loud, trying to get used to being retired. Hey, same here. Did you retire too? I semi-retired from commission painting. Semi-retired. No more big projects. I'm done. I'll do the occasional little guy. I do have a couple projects yet I'm working on, but no more pushing, no more pressuring. Did it for 5 years. Gonna go back to doing some other things and enjoy my hobby for a change. And I'm telling you, when did I go into semi-retirement? Was it a month now? Month and a half? 2 months? I'd have to go back and look. But I am absolutely loving it. I feel like a kid in a candy store starting all over. And I literally am starting my hobby all over. I don't have much currently, but yeah, that's what it feels like. But it's good. It feels good. Void Fighter. What's Void Fighter? I'll have to look up Osprey. Is it anything to do with Void Admiral? I never heard of Void Fighter. Let me guess, it's like a science fiction fighter-based game. Like X-Wing type of style. That's what it sounds like. I don't know. Government retired me due to my PTSD. I dated a girl with PTSD. It was not good. Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. But man, she was so beautiful. Oh my God. We'll save that for another stream. It just wasn't worth it in the end. I had to get out of that. It's not good. Yeah, PTSD. Nothing to take lightly. That's for damn sure. I have Void Fighter pre-ordered. What is Void Fighter? Will somebody tell me? Game is written by the guy who designed Space Weirdos. Okay. Okay. Does it have any connection with Void Admiral? I mean, it sounds so similar. Void Admiral, Void Fighter. The author is Paul Bantock or something? Is that the Space Weirdos guy? How you doing, folks, by the way? Doing a little bit more live stuff here for some odd reason. Try to do maybe 1 or 2 a week, but yeah. I did one yesterday. That's because I'm working on stuff. my own stuff. It's fun, Bill. It's fun. Bill, it's fun. Did you hear me, Bill? It's fun. Casey Garska wrote Void Fighters. Okay, so it's a totally different thing. Okay, I will look into it though. Space Fighters. Still, I wonder why he chose Void Fighter. Because it's so close to Void Admiral. I mean, was there some affiliation besides the title with the other guy? Paul Bantock? Maybe he was some impact on the game's design? I don't know. Yeah, people are weird. Right, Bill? Right, Bill? Nah, I'm only kidding. Bill and his dad jokes. He's got several volumes of dad jokes from the 1980s. Yeah, he does. Let me get my foci going here. What's up with my hands? My saturation is too high or something. We have a ton of Starfighter minis. Do you? Ton of Starfighter minis. Let's see, Chris. Let's put this ship here. See if I can get in focus here on my camera. Looks good to me. Let's apply that. There we go. All set. You remember the old game? Let me think. Was it Ice? Iron Crown Enterprise that made it back in the 90s? Maybe even the late 80s? Was it Ice? I think it was Ice. They had a miniatures fighter, space fighter game. I think one of the supplements was called Night Brood. I can't think of the name of the game though, but it was advertised in Dragon magazine and stuff. I think it was Iron Crown Enterprises. Ice. Do you remember that? Remember that game? That was a game that had its own miniatures and a starter set with plastic miniatures, I think. I'm not sure. That's going back a long time. I don't know if they're plastic. But can't think of the name of it. But that game never really interested me because, it's fighter combat. I want starships, man. Nowadays, space fighter games are actually pretty popular. Probably because of X-Wing, you know? There it is. Chris has got it. Silent Death. Silent Death from Ice. Yeah, that's the name of it. Did you ever have that game? Silent Death. Sounds like you're breaking out the French Canadian. That's what it sounds like. Silent. Oh. Have you ever played Silent Death? I wonder how good it was. Iron Crown had high production value back then. Looked like a good game. What am I going to do? Got some ships here. So I'll show a couple of these. These are the ships I printed. I gave them that's speed paint. I gave them the old speed paint for a kind of like a wash. That's the base coat I'm going to work with. So I got a bunch of ships for these guys. They all look like this. Kind of like this, just different sizes. And this guy's kind of weird. You see? So this is the one faction. I'm not sure which ones they'll be. Depends on what I want to play with. So I got a bunch of those ships. 5 exactly. And then I've got 2 of these based and put up. Now these guys are gonna, again, this is speed paint. That's Gravelord Gray. So it's kind of a black, which is what I want. And then what I did is I gave them a seal. I sealed them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over top of this the various plates and sections and put stripes on them, you know, to make them stand out. Maybe even highlight them a little bit. I'm not sure what colors I'm going to go with this. You know, I don't want greens in there. Whites are kind of typical. They kind of offset the fact that I want them to be like very dark, menacing red. Kind of like corn stuff, but I don't want to use metallics. And I'm going to break out my non-metallic metal paints and go through some of those colors. And without using metallic colors, maybe I can find something in there to put some designs on these ships. Yeah. And these are 3D printed. Really nice, but I had to upscale these by 1.5. That's how small they were. So they're not twice as big as they were. I printed out a whole bunch at the size of the models, and they were just so tiny. I mean, I can't use that. So I upped them half again their size. And this one ship is pretty big. Look at that. They're really nice. So I got them all cleaned up. I'm going to hopefully get them based now. I only printed about 15 to work with. These cool bases, which I got from somebody else. I used resin to print these, not the FDM. Take too frickin' long. Takes about 20 minutes to do this. So yeah, I'm not gonna. Pretty good. Pretty good. I have to use green stuff though to really make these bases sturdy and strong. So you can kind of see at the bottom here the space, that little rectangle. And basically what I did is I built up around the rectangle that's on there. They slide in this slot. So I built it up with green stuff to give it some added security. As you can kind of see there, right? And I did the same thing at the top where they're connected. There's a little bit of green stuff in there. I got shaped like a little wedge. Not a ugly blob. I actually shaped it so it was a nice little rectangle. It'd almost be part of the ship. You can barely see this one. But yeah, to give it a little added support. Yeah, I'm printing. I'm using my Saturn 8K. I just started using it last weekend. Finally. And I'm loving it, Chris. It's awesome. And my FDM printer I've been printing for about a year with terrain and stuff. It's good fun. I'm enjoying it. These literally are the first models I've ever printed with resin. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. I got a bunch more. And I got a lot of other things I'm going to print. What else did I do? Saturn and Mars, yeah. You got a bunch of printers. You make it. Are you still doing that as a full business? I think you just recently bought a bunch of new printers, didn't you? Yeah, you must be. How is that working for you, man? Is it helping you out? You making some extra pennies? Been a while since I checked out your page. How you doing, Big Small Paul? Gonna be on for a little bit again. I'm gonna put some more bases together. Gonna break out my green stuff. See who joins us tonight. I'll send a message to Byron. Maybe ours will join. Time is it? 5:37. It's getting late for him. Yeah. One of us, laughing out loud. I used to use the Starship toys I got from Plastic Eggs for Star Wars roleplay. Space conflicts. Huh? That works. Old school. Paul is old school. Big Small Worlds. Very old school. And he's happy. So let's all leave him alone. He likes his old plastic toys from Easter egg, toy eggs, whatever it's called. Don't bother him. He's happy. How you doing, Paul? I hope everything's good with you, man. You're not walking home again from the pub. Alex stopped not printing for sale. Alex closed the store years ago. Now for school. Ah, okay. That's why I haven't heard from it. So now you're just printing for yourself. That's pretty cool. How you doing, folks? Kind of a pain along, but it's not. This is my stream with Fritz. I'm going to be working on some models here. Going to be doing some basing. Getting ready for my game of Void Admiral. Maybe this weekend. Probably the weekend after. I just got my 9-year-old nephew into the hobby, man. He had his first. How many times have we played now? I think about at least twice. I played Dead Zone from Mantic Games twice now, at least, with Jake and Jesse too. But this is Jake's first experience with the hobby, really. And man, is he loving it! He is in it. Yes, the seeds are planted. Now it's time to nurture. Right? Right? And I'll give him the greatest gift that he'll have for the rest of his life. He'll always have this hobby to turn to. Right? I think we'd all agree this is a wonderful hobby. Particularly miniatures gaming. Because it involves other things besides just reading rule books. Crafting and the painting. I mean, this is great, you know. I'm so happy. This is why I'm alive today, for that little kid. So Jake looked like he was having fun. Yeah, he was. And I'm telling you, I was shocked. Again, he's 9 years old. He knows about gaming. He never really played anything. He played a little bit of Pathfinder with us, a little bit. He watches us play. But he really wants to sit down with his dad and play, and with me, and see what this is all about. He knows about my terrain and my figures. But man, he sat down in that first game, and he had it figured, like within a half an hour. What amazed me was that he kind of, how do I put this? He just by instinct knew the procedures of the game. Not the rules, but how to look up rules and where to find stuff and how it all comes together. He picked up on that really quick. So, yeah, he was, I'll look it up, and he's looking up in the rule book. He knows right where to look, even though he's never done this before. He knows basically how these games work, is what I'm trying to say. And that was pretty shocking. I said, wow, I could just sit back in my chair and let you guys go at it. I left the room for a while, and he's looking up the rules, telling his dad how to do things. Not bad, huh? But yeah, I'm pretty impressed. And he came up the weekend, or the next day, and we played again, and the first thing out of his mouth, oh, I want to play. Let's play Dead Zone. This is on. He just wanted to get right into it. So that's my update on Jacob. Wonder how many of these I can get done today. 8. These are nice thick bases too. Anybody else like spaceship combat games? Besides myself, how about you? Chris? Or am I the only one in tonight who likes nerdy science fiction space battles with toy ships? Nom, 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 nom. I don't really have to clean these off. These printed really nice. So I'm just learning this 3D printing thing. And over the course of the past week, I have learned a lot. Like exposure. And lift speed. Lift distance. Normal and base speeds. And a lot of other things. Things that Chris knows like the back of his hand. But I noticed the one thing that happened when I was printing these. Now there's no supports for this. It just lays flat on the build plate, right? That's all it is. Because it's just, there's nothing. It's not like this where it's standing up printing. Then you need supports. But it's laying flat. Okay? Nice and simple. But I noticed initially some of these, here's an example, were printing really thin. Like here's a thin one. Here's an actual. See the difference? So I'm thinking, oh, well, for some reason, the top layers weren't working. They weren't sticking. Why would it do that? So that's when I started learning about exposure time and stuff. And temperature. The room temperature is a big thing. Especially with the resin I'm using. But I made a few little adjustments. And today's print run was perfect. Now they're nice and fat again. It was so bad that I was printing a couple of these, if you can see how it's a base and it's got this raised center point for a nub in the middle. It's got some kind of letter there or something. I don't know what it is, but it looks faded to me. So I was thinking, oh, the top layers aren't, it's not capturing the detail. That could be a lot of different things. But this one was supposed to look like this. And as you can see, there's nothing there. And it's really thin. So those top layers weren't working. So when this happened, I said, all right, wait a minute. I've got this really thin thing, and then I got this going on. There was nothing in the tub. So what I did, that's when I started learning about this stuff about exposure times and stuff. And I changed my setting there. And yeah, today was another test, and it came out perfect. So it's a process, folks. But it's so easy. It's not a difficult thing. The hardest part about 3D printing is probably the maintenance. The cleanup. Oh my God. Let's read some chat here. I'm just ranting again. Fat shaming prints. How you doing, Clyde? Let me catch up on the chat here. AK paint markers. Are you printing? Yeah, I read that. Hello, this is Big Small, read that. 25. So I love the Saturn and Mars. I used to Star Wars toys. All stopped. Jake. How are the shipyards? Coming along good, Clyde. Coming along good. Getting a lot done. I play a lot of Full Thrust. Full Thrust was a fun game. I still got that game too somewhere. We are doing a BSG campaign. BSG. What is BSG? BSG. What is BSG? You mean BFG? Oh, Billion Suns. Billion Suns? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Clyde says, FAS's Battle Space and Starfleet battles, Osprey's Billion Suns, and others, yes. Battle Space never played. Starfleet battles, I played. I have it right on my back shelf here. Big old binder full of goodness. Osprey Billion Suns, I saw. It didn't really interest me. It uses cards and has other silliness in it. Fritz is fat shaming Prince. Room temp is very important, says Chris. I installed a heater in my printers. In my print. Yeah, I saw some of those little heaters you can have. I got a heater in my print room. But yeah, I noticed the temperature was like 10 degrees colder than it should be for what should be a minimum. And yeah, I noticed that's partially a reason why I was getting this result. So I held off printing that day until this morning. I remember in the early 80s drawing vectors and sheets of paper to work out movement for traveler ships. First line equals what you did last time. Second line, thrust applied this turn. Ah, that's cool. Alex Jensen, or Jensen. Hello from Denmark. Alex Jensen, how you doing, my friend? Is this a Star Trek or Warhammer 40k? What, these little guys? These are for Void Admiral. Up there in the corner, you could see it. And welcome, Alex. Then the third line. Big Small Worlds. You're my kind of peeps. Yep, Clyde would get into that. Yes, he would. Good to know. We had pretend we didn't care about the universe in two-dimensional Battlestar. Battlestar? Oh, BSG. Battlestar Galactica. Yes, I get it now. Battlestar Galactica. Okay. Threw me off. The Cylons. Alright, all caught up in the chat. Do. Yeah, so these are the bases I'm going to work on. Basically, I super glue these in and let that dry, and then I'll take some green stuff and I'll make a little around it, make it sturdy. And because sometimes I notice they're a little bit leaning, and I don't know if that's because I was getting crappy prints and they were too thin. So fingers crossed, this will go in perfect and stand straight up. These are nice bases, by the way. The 32 mil. Danke. That's a whole other universe. You said you're from Denmark. Alex Jensen. Welcome, Alex. Glad to have you. Hello, Void, my old friend. This is the sound of Cylons. Oh, Clyde, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. I like it. I don't have my sound man anymore. Let me message my good friend. Let's see if he wants to join me in the chat tonight. I don't mean my normal co-host, which would be Cataclysms. Not sure everyone... Well, we'll leave it at that. Let me see. Of Silence. Thanks, Clyde. Let's see. Doing a little painting. Not really. Wanna join my live? Maybe Jesse's watching. Haven't seen the Void battle before. Be right back. Okay, Chris, I'll hold you to that. You can get, Alex, you can get Void Admiral on Amazon. You should, even in Denmark. It's pretty good. It's an indie game. It's essentially a much more elegant version of Battlefleet Gothic from Games Workshop. Very accessible. It's miniatures agnostic, so you can use miniatures from whatever. It's got some factions in it and a little bit of fluff, so there's some backstory there, a little background that you can develop and base your collections on. But that's it. The rest is all up to you. The game is straightforward and elegant. I really am taken by it. You can look up some bat reps on YouTube. Just look up Void Admiral. Guerrilla Games has done a whole bunch on Void Admiral. Yeah, and it's like under $7 US. $7 USD. You get it on Amazon. Check it out, folks. Void Admiral and its supplement, Void Admiral Renegade Warfleet. Plural. Warfleets. You can get them both on Amazon for under $7 each. I don't know how many pages, 60 some pages per book, something like that. I'd have to look. I'd have to get out of my chair. Well worth it. I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited to do so. And I 3D printed my ships. And I'm starting off with about 15 of them, broken into 2 little factions. I don't know what factions they are. I haven't really thought about it, but here's a couple. These are 3D printed. And I had to upscale them 1.5 because they were a little too small. But look at that. They're nice. And basically what I did here is I gave it essentially a wash with speed paint. That's Gravelord Gray I put on that ship there. And then I sprayed it, and I'm going to paint it with normal paints. I'm going to paint some of the plates and sides and details, give it a little color to it. So got a whole bunch of these ships. And the other faction is these guys. This is my favorite. Look at that. How Klingon is that? But they're not Klingons. So these guys did the same thing. That's blood red speed paint that I used as a wash in this case. And then I sealed it, sprayed it to protect it. And I'm going to paint over this with some acrylics to pick out the details. Add some color to it. All right, so yeah. And I got a bunch of these. Here's a cool one. Look at this one. This is kind of like a carrier or something. I forget what it was designated as. Very cool. And I have a squadron of these guys. 3 of them. And here's another big one that I'm going to put on. Check that out, man. Check that out, Alex. He's a big one, too. It's going to be cool. These are going to be from my very first game of Void Admiral. Oh, you didn't see that. I had the picture too big. Hold on. Hold on. I should have looked at the chat. What's the matter with me, Clyde? I got all kinds of things going on the past few days. Look at that, that's a big one. Let me show those ones I had hidden. So yeah, this is Gravelord Gray. Came out pretty good. Speed paint. And then these guys, this is my favorite. And these guys here are the similar but smaller. maybe a squadron of frigates or corvettes or whatever they are. And then this thing. Pretty cool, huh? I blame not enough gaming hours. So yeah, that's a start. Sorry about that. I wasn't showing my camera right. Amazingly, he's not getting paid to promote this. I hear that all the time, Clyde. All the time. Is there a bit of Klingon on that piece? It looks it, doesn't it? Little birds of prey, right? Somebody's doing a little shopping. Yes. Yeah, so look it up on Amazon. Denmark Amazon, or Europe, or whatever it is. Maybe you can find it. Void Admiral. You can. It's also got a website if you're interested. Alex. No relation to Chris, I don't think. Unless Alex moved to Denmark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here's something interesting. See how this is what it should look like. This here was left in the wash bin of alcohol for probably 3 days. 2 days. We'll say about 2 days. He got lost in the wash there for like 2 days, and you can tell he's very bendy. And he's kind of pale and pasty. Yeah, he was in there too long. I just found him today, in fact. He's very bendy. Yeah, this is good. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, he was in there absorbing the alcohol. Eight. I think that's the one that broke. This would be 8. Hold on here. There's another one right there. Some of these were too thin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 2 are spares. We'll put over here. All 4 and 4 tables. Iron Man talking about his work. Excellent. Well done. Well done, Iron Man. Gonna convert the Tome of Adventure design. Did not move here. Been here from 1969. So I love finding streams like yours. Alex is the name of Chris's son, who's in the chat here. Right, Chris? So it's kind of like a little joke I was giving him there. Pale and frail never fail. Yep, there you go. Well said. Well said, Clyde. I hate when I leave stuff so long in the IPA. Yeah, he got lost. He was so small. He slipped through the little netting thing. Just how do you, Chris? How do you go about? What's the word? I don't want to say cleaning. Filter your IPA. if you filter it at all. Do you clean it out? Do you filter it? Like, it gets full of, it's cloudy. It gets full of that resin gook that's in there. So what do? Do you just throw it out, or do you filter it? Do you give it some ultraviolet? Set it out in the sun or something, let it solidify and separate, and pour the good stuff back in the vat? What do you do? Chris is a pro at this stuff. He's a pro. Welcome to our joyful band of rogues, Alex Jensen. Yeah, welcome, Alex. Glad to have you, man. I've had folks, I've been doing this for over 12 years. I've been streaming with these paint and chats and paint alongs and chillin' chats and whatever you want to call them. And I keep track of who I meet from around the world. And so far, when it comes to the North, the Scandinavian North, I have made great friends and had people in here from Sweden. I'm trying to think of the name of the other country. Wait a minute. Although technically it's not Scandinavia. They would argue with you about that. To me, it's Scandinavia. What is it? It's not. They're further up north. I can't think of it. You get Denmark, Norway. Further up north, closer to the Russians. I can't think of it. Come on, you guys, help me out. I can't think of it. It's just not coming to my brain. But yeah, from there, and you'll be the first one from Denmark. So, congrats. Finland, that's it. Finland. Yeah, I had a guy in here who was a real good friend from Finland, and his girlfriend played in my role-playing campaign for a while. Another friend of mine was from Sweden. So Denmark is a new one. So welcome aboard. Finland it is. Filter UV in a bucket, then strain it. Then do it again 3 times, then use it for pre-wash bucket, and use new IPA in wash machine. So you have 2 washes. You do a pre-wash, you use it for the pre-wash, so you keep your main wash fresh. You don't mix them, you don't do any of that. Does alcohol actually lose some of its chutzpah over time? Being used for cleaning prints, does it actually do that? Because I know you have to filter it and clean it, but does it really lose any of its properties? Yes, 2 washes. We don't talk about Sweden or Finland. Not really. And I use cheap airbrush to blow off the IPA. Well, that's smart. That's pretty smart. I don't want to talk too much about 3D printing, but I will say that I've been doing it for about a week now, and my first 2 prints were miserable failures. And I won't go into the details and what it was, but I did figure it out. The 3rd one was a charm, and it came out perfect. I was doing little test pieces, the Rook. You probably heard of the Rook. And I just could not get that to print, and I didn't know what it was. But I figured it out. So, and after that, it's been near perfect. No problems. I use cheap airbrush. Read that. Yes, it does get worse with too many uses. Okay, noted. Noted. because I'm a newbie. So, Clyde, I've been meaning to ask you, what is going on with you, man? You've been in a funk regarding the hobby for a while now. I see your comments. What's going on? You just don't have the chutzpah to work on your hobby stuff? Taking a break, maybe? You're trying to get it back again? Is that what's going on here? The urge to paint and do stuff just isn't there right now? Or am I dreaming? I think the ISO loses some kick, like real. I can't see what word that is he used. Chat Ninja won't display it. Let me go to YouTube. Real alcohol. Alcohol? Is that the word it took? It is. It won't put the word alcohol in. I think the ISO loses some kick like real alcohol, sadly. Yeah. I will keep using it though. But knowing that, I don't want to dilute stuff, so I'll probably keep it separate. I'll make a separate tub of that stuff and keep my main wash fresh alcohol. At what point is... Well, let me ask you this. At what point is the alcohol losing its kick and it should be changed and swapped out for fresh? Since I don't want to dilute it by adding fresh stuff all the time, at what point do I need to stop and filter it and then make it the backup or the secondary wash? Like when it gets too... what's that? When it gets too cloudy, when it just leaves a film on the prints. What do I look for? How do I know? Where are you, you little bugger? Hi, Cody. Huh. Where are you? Where'd you go? Boy, the spiders are creeping and crawling around here. I thought I captured this one. I guess I didn't. Oh well. I'm a full-on animist, so I don't kill things like this. They're more like they're like intrusive neighbors. I gotta throw them out. What is this? What in the world is this going on? Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Let me throw this away. Creepy crawlies. Let me go back to this. Kids keep bringing home interesting diseases. Oh, okay. Okay. Or lack of time. Okay. I really wanted a strike cruiser for Warhammer 40k, like a hologram Paint it up like in vibrant green. After one good chat, slam! There goes Chris out the back door. Well, this didn't take long. Alright, Chris. Hey, good evening, fellas. How you doing, Cody? Yeah, you just can't get the chutzpah going. You've been feeling under the weather. Okay, I get it now. All right. Just checking up on you. Got to get you motivated. Got to get you motivated. What is this? You'll get there. Alright, so let's just super glue first. Da 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 da. Let me message Rosemary and Byron, see if they're around. Let's see. He's not online, so maybe not. Oops. Nice one, Iron Man. And Caesar there. Knife holder. It's actually brilliant. He's got scissors in his neck. That's really good. Oh, my one cat's losing his mind again. Just stopped painting for the night. Need to rest my eyes and rest in the rest of me. Yeah, it's probably a good idea, Paul. Don't have to paint every night. Alex says, of course, ISO do not evaporate from day to day, but over time it loses its power. So if you have a smaller pot, use a little at a time. Then you will always have a new supply. Do you do 3D printing, Alex? Do folks here ever chat in the paint and chat thing in Discord? That's usually where I get folks to join me. Every once in a while I do them offline as well over there. I'll get together with some folks and we'll hang out and paint and chat. We haven't done one in a while. And when I have guests, I usually go over there and bring them in that way. That's how ours gets in here. So that's a thing. Every once in a while, somebody goes in the paint and chat, and maybe somebody joins over on the Discord channel. Alex, if you're not a member of the Discord channel, I keep it small and friendly and nice over here. It's awesome. It's amazing. Feel free to join. The link is in the description below. It might not work, however. Which we're going to have to do things a different way to get the link to you, because I got streamer mode on, which means I can't share it. Let's try this one. No, let's try this one. Let's see. My cats are losing their minds. Strikers are aiming a battle fleet. Size of armor 40k. Some of the brass looking at a ship in orbit. Green glow. Do you 3D print? Alex? Let me see. doesn't go in like that. It has to go down this way right here, which means there's a little bit of a stick out in the bottom, from what I could tell. So yeah, let's dip into the glue and force this in somehow. Oh, I hate super glue. I hate it. That didn't seem to go all the way in the right way. I guess that's it. Why does it stick up over there? It makes it crooked. I must be putting these in wrong. I don't know. I must be. So yeah, Alex, do you 3D print? I think I asked you like 3 times now. Are you into 3D printing? Just curious, since you seem to know quite a bit about the alcohol stuff. No 3D printing. Setting my hopes for other nice people to make that. Oh, okay. Makes sense. I'm surprised more people, especially in our community over here, don't actually 3D print. I think there'd be more people doing that, like Paul and Clyde. You guys are perfect for that sort of thing, considering the type of things you do. I don't know. I only know a handful of people that 3D print. I mean, personally, in the community. Myself, Chris, Nerd's Nerd. Bill Bashong, I think he 3D prints. Yeah, he does. Who else? I don't have the room for a printer. Oh, come on, that's not an don't have the room. I guess that's kind of fair. It's not really not having the room. They don't take up that much space. It's having a room for it, because especially a resin printer, they are messy and kind of toxic. Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking, I mean, if I have 2 of them and I'm making use of them, I think you would get more use out of it than me, Paul, because of what you do. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I gotta kind of hold this because, I don't know, it kind of wants to lean to the one side. It's another reason I'm using the green stuff. I really don't have room for one. If you saw my place, you would fully understand. Hey, I've got my setup of 2 printers in my bathroom. What do you mean you don't have room? Of course, you live with people. I live alone. Hey, message Rosemary. Rosemary, where are you? Where is she? Oh, there she is. Adora Moon. Going live in all caps. Look at all the messages I've sent her. Without reply. What happened there? They're in the process of moving, by the way. That's why we haven't seen them much. Let me clean this up. It's kind of embarrassing. Schlick. All right, let's get back to normal functioning here. Ooh, hold on. Okay. Definitely wouldn't fit in our bathroom. Yeah. All right, that looks pretty good. So what do we talk about today? What were we talking about yesterday that was so intriguing? GM Cody, you were involved yesterday. What were we talking about? What do we talk about? What do we talk about? Yeah, I would love a printer. Like everyone else, I just don't have the space for it. I think my wife would be pretty pissed off. It took over the bathroom. Yeah. 3D or resin cast. I also build big cats. What? I have the Das Werk 1/16 scale leopard on pre-order. I would love to 3D print some stuff of my own, because the Danish leopard is not the German one. Ah, the Danish leopard. I haven't seen the Danish leopard. The German one, yeah. Der Bundeswehr. I'm a big fan of the leopard. There, we'll let that one dry. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Yeah, I think we'd all benefit from a 3D printer. I had these printers for years before I actually sat down and used them. For various reasons, I couldn't get started in it. Until now. Resin cast. But I'll tell you, man, it is a game changer. When you invest, and they're not expensive, you can get decent ones for under $200. Once you make the commitment and get one and take the time to learn it, not that there's a big learning curve, whether it's FDM or whether it's resin, it is a game changer if you're in this hobby. It really is. And it's definitely only a matter of time before everybody has them in their household, just like a normal ink printer that you have with your laptop or computer. Complete game changer. And Cody, especially if you're into old school Warhammer stuff. Oh man. There's so much stuff out there that you would use instead of GW official models that are perfect. One good STL group is Daka Daka. We've all heard of them. They do STLs, man, and their stuff is amazing. Especially their arcs. Better than the originals. Only thing I remember from yesterday was talking about random charts and historical games. That's right, that's right. Talking about historical games. Ancients was my thing. Did you ever get into Ancients? Tell me about it. I do get a lot of stuff printed from other people. Oh, it's a game changer. Even if you get an FDM printer, they're not toxic. It's hard to say if they're easier to use than a resin printer, because resin printing is so freaking easy. It's just high maintenance. Very little Ancients. I've played quite a bit of DBA. So what is it? Very little Ancients, but you've played a lot of DBA? DBA's alright. DVM was my thing. And then DBMM. Nowadays, I've moved over to Triumph, which is a DBX clone. Much better than DBA and DBM, actually. Solves a lot of the issues folks had that I had. Played some Armati. Played some, oh, what's that game? What is it called? Made into a video game. I can't remember. Played that a little bit. Played a lot of Impetus. I played a bit of Hell Caesar. My good friend was Ancients. DBA, it was usually Dark Ages, sometimes Ancients. Very little time. Okay. The great thing about DBA is that it's easy to collect armies for. That's the whole gist of it, right? Triumph is like that too. Has its big battle version. So yeah, that was my thing. That's what I've done the most of. And then Napoleonics was a huge one for me. I played like every set of Napoleonic rules out there. Because there's so many good ones. So yeah, I did that. And the other one, of course, is World War II. Did a lot of World War II. Again, with a lot of different rules. Because, again, there's so many really good sets of rules. Never did the ACW. For some strange reason. Still doing the American War of Independence. I just never really sat to play a game. I'm painting miniatures now for it, off and on. Alright, let's do another one. I'm a big naval game player too. I like naval games a lot. I played some Fleet Admiral back in the day before it was bought by not Decision Games, but Clash of Arms. They bought it out and took it off the market. which is a shame. And of course, Clash of Arms used to publish Fear God and Dread Not, or the Admiralty Trilogy as it was known, which you can still get. It's not published by Clash of Arms anymore. It's self-published and includes such games as Harpoon, Fear God and Dread Not, and then I think it's Command at Sea. Or is that a different game? The World War II version. A big fan of that. Yup. Hold on, I gotta put another one of these in there. Come on, boys. Get in there. Yeah, I gotta kind of tilt these. I used to have tons of 15mm Napoleonics. Oh, you're a 15mm gamer. So was I with my Ancients. All my Ancients were 15mm. Nowadays, it's all 28mm for me. I love 28mm the best. Because I enjoy painting. It's more fulfilling than 15. Maybe I'll show you some of my armies. I don't think you've seen some of my... Veterans of my stream are all groaning right now. Oh no, Fritz is going to show off his pictures again. Oh, here we go. How many times is he going to show his Napoleonics and his World War II Pack 40s and his Ancients? Oh, my God. Here we go again. Oh, there's new people that come in. I've got to show them this stuff. It's just I can't contain myself. A travesty. Picatures. Where's my Picatures? No, that's not there. They're in the folder called Pictures. That's where they are. Let's see. I've got commission pictures when I sold stuff, or eBay actually. 40K. Ancients. Want to see my ancient stuff? Ancients, anybody? But de la guerre. Now let's look at this folder. Look at this folder. I have to go to display capture. Because OBS doesn't like Microsoft Photos for some reason. So let me do a display capture. You guys will see my entire window screen and everything else in between. Let's grab it and make it a habit. Okay, so let me get that image out of there. Okay, Funky Town. I'll take you to Funky Town. But yeah, we'd love to see your armies. I didn't show you any, did I? Because I am always showing them off. Let me see, what do I want to do here? Yeah. Let's go in this folder. Here's a few pictures we can look at. This is my all 15mm Essex. This is my plebeian mid-old Republican Roman. Going up against Seleucids. Somewhere over here is the elite silver shields. I don't know where they are. I don't see them. Let's It's a nice angled shot. They got a war elephant in the back there, I think. Or is that a chariot? I think it's a chariot. Here's some of my Romans marching forward to engage the army of Gaul. This game was the set of rules I can't think of. These are Old Glory, Corvus Belli, Essex, and Old Glory. I said that already. That's a mix. $15 mil. We got the Romans on the march. Some of their allies, including Numidians. There they go. Seleucids deployed for battle. I think this is a DBA setup. Cataphracts. Pike, side chariot. Another DBA battle. Remember that battle. I think the Romans won. Hard fought in the fields. And we are deployed against the Gaul army. This is another DBA battle. All this stuff I sold a couple of years ago, actually. A few years ago. Including that terrain piece that I made. Looks like a... I won't say. The Seleucids matching up with the Romans. This was a battle of l'Art de la Guerre. I think it's a 100-point game. We turned the flank of the pikes, of course, with my Gaul allies. And that was the end of them. There's the Seleucids lined up for battle. That's the whole army there for DBA. Actually, l'Art de la Guerre. And there's the Romans for l'Art de la Guerre. Pretty nice. A little promo screen there. A little bendable pike. So yeah, there's that. And we'll zip through some of these. Some of these you already saw, but there's some extra pictures in here. Saw this one. That one, that one, that one, that one. I think we saw that one. Saw that one. There's another picture. So this was my Gaul army that I sold. Included the camp that I made and this terrain piece. And probably also the hill. Or this cliff thing I made. I used to make terrain and sell it, so it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, there's the Gaul army. For DBA and l'Art de la Guerre. Here's some of my figures for Impetus. You can see the basing was huge. Here's one of my medieval. Now you guys have never seen these pictures. But this picture here is very interesting. And it features my entire collection of 15 mil feudal English. which was huge. And in this case, we're fighting Simon de Montfort going against Henry III up here on the left. But there's an interesting aspect to this particular battle. If you look close, you will see that I'm using GeoHex. Who remembers GeoHex? Those are GeoHex blocks. Actually, they're hex shapes. I still have these. And yeah, I was able to make this valley in the middle here, which is pretty damn cool. There's a game of Impetus. Another game of Impetus featuring, again, Seleucids in Rome. It's my feudal English. Playing Impetus. 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 Actually, no, this is DBMM. There's one of my... that's the... I forget what this guy's name is. He's from Warhammer. You guys might remember him. That's it. Okay, there you go. That's my ancients. We'll save the World War II and Napoleonics for next time. You'll love my Napoleonics. Ooh. God, I bent this so far the other way. Now it's crooked the other way. Wow. I can't win. I can. Hammer time. Good looking stuff. Really good job on all these. I can spot those old glory models from a mile away. I know, right? Good times. Imagine being in the hobby for, at the time, maybe 30 years, 25, 30 years. Yeah. And having amassed all these collections of figures from Warhammer and Necromunda, all the GW games, plus all these historical stuff that I did. Old West shootouts, and gladiators, and American Civil War, skirmish stuff, my ancients. And selling all of it. And having absolutely nothing but a handful of miniatures. The only thing I have left to this day, since before I started painting again recently, was lots of unpainteds, because you can never get rid of those. Try as hard as I could not get rid of everything that was unpainted. So I still have quite a bit of that stuff, particularly with historicals. But the only thing I had that was painted was just a small portion of my feudal English. That's it. Nothing else. Some old figures from back in my role-playing days in the 80s. I still have to show you guys my first ever figures that I painted. But those I had, but I never did anything with. You know, those stayed with me. But that's it. Nothing. All those figures I showed you, they're gone. Everything. Gone. And then coming back and starting all over. That's me. That's what I'm doing. No regrets, though. And in a way, it's kind of nice. I don't value material things, for one. Not a sentimental person either. So, it's no big deal. But man, sometimes I think about that. Especially knowing what I know about Old Hammer in particular. It's like, geez, boy, if why did I get rid of that? Seriously. I never thought I'd be getting back into this stuff. Nope. Never. Sell it off. Make some money. I made $20,000 in 1 year on eBay selling nothing but Warhammer and 40K stuff. I kid you not. Oh well. Is that right? So there you go, folks. There's a little more for you. That's kind of the situation I'm in now. Yeah, I posted in Discord what I have been working on. Stop pestering me. Wow, okay. Somebody's grouchy today. My, oh my. Let me get this thing off the screen. Where is it? Where is it? Display capture. Is that it? There it is. Get out of here. There he goes. Okay. Now let's do Discord screen share. Where is it? Let's see what Clyde's talking about over here. I like this. This is Arn posted this. It's a knife holder. Look at this. He's got scissors in his neck. I love it. Oh. Okay, Clyde. What I've been quietly, secretly working on. Oh boy, look at this. A little diorama work that is taking forever will be Mantic Sci-Fi of Futuristic Cola Wars. What? Will be Mantic Sci-Fi of Futuristic Cola Wars. Let's take a look. Oh, they're little Coca-Cola bottles. Where'd you dig that up? Little crates of Coca-Cola bottles. This is great. Huh. That's pretty good, Clyde. I like it. Terrain looks familiar. Oh yeah, it does. It's Dead Zone. Dead Zone terrain. I recognize him. It's got the little locks. Ah, jeez. Where did you get these? I like it. Gonna use some Mantic enforcers painted as Pepsi Coke fighting each other. It's just silly. Pepsi and Coke fighting each other. I like those little racks of bottles. I love that. Yeah, that's the future for us, Alex. What kind of games do you play, Alex? And Clyde, what's your favorite game to play? When you do get a chance to play, what just tickles your fancy every time? What is it, Clyde? And for you, Alex, what is it that you enjoy playing at all? What kind of games do you play? Curious minds want to know. I love those little bottles. Where did you find it? He won't tell. It's a secret. Hidden within the pyramids. I forgot where I had to look it up. I love those little Coke bottles. Coke Wars. I'm a narrative skirmish gamer mostly, so Pulp Alley. That's the game. I think I asked you this before. Pulp Alley. I know a few people who just absolutely adore Pulp Alley. I've never played it. I'd probably love it. You know, I gotta admit, half of the time I don't play these games because I don't want to get yet another game. I know I'm gonna like it, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, I gotta play this, I gotta do this. So I do avoid games. Not because they suck or I'm not interested. It's just that I've already got a full plate. And you know what I mean. Granted, skirmish gaming is a thing and you could do more. But I don't know. I got the rules, the cards, everything for that. It's got a big community on Facebook and everything. Pulp Alley. What about you? Alex? Boy, is my stomach churning. It's speaking a foreign language right now. I just ate before I came into the chat. Then you have to collect a bunch of pulp air terrain. Yeah. It would be fun. Battling cults. Found the bottles. I bought them from a guy on eBay. Posted link on Discord. On eBay. What were they, 3D prints, or were they actual models already done that you could collect? Now, I'll look at that. They're like perfectly scaled. I gotta hold this. This one looks a little bit, I don't know, can't tell. Norway, Denmark, Sweden. And I would include Finland, even though they don't consider themselves to be part of Scandinavia. All right, Clyde, I'll be here. I think Alex disappeared too. It was a good week for me. Good week for me. Got a lot done around the house. Made some good money. Got a lot painted. Played some games. Good stuff. I've taken all of April off after going into my semi-retirement just to get my hobby rekindled. And that's what I've been doing this month, is just focusing on my hobby. To get that fire back before I start doing some more work on some of my remaining commissions. Big commissions, which I'm not pushing. The clients know and they understand, so there's no rush. We should all have gone for the JS-39 Gripen E Northern Air Wing. So Alex, what game periods do you play, if anything? Do you play miniatures games? Role play, board games, anything? What do you do? That's the most lovely thing I've heard today. There you go. I hate super glue. Ooh, I snapped it. Damn it. Well, let me try and get this out of there before it... There. Darn it. That was a good one, too. Got a little crazy in that one. Man, it's bound to happen. You guys get to see this live. My craziness. Let's try it again. This one's a little thinner. I'll be a little careful on this one. Do you see that? Because I'm kind of holding it. I'm kind of pulling it to the one side. So they're not like lopsided. For whatever reason. I don't know if I'm putting them in wrong or what. Or if they're too thin. I know these thin ones you gotta kind of move. It's alright though. They're free. I got these bases free. As I pointed, I love building models. I am not that big of a gamer. Love my Dark Angels, but as models. Oh, Dark Angels. That's my army I play. I'm collecting Dark Angels and Sisters of Battle. And I have all of Jesse's models as well. He's got an entire Warhammer High Elf army from 8th edition, including some 4th edition medals. So he's got a nice little collection that I have. And all of his 40k stuff that he's recently done in the past few years. He's got a Adeptus Mechanicus army. He's got a Necron army. He's got a Death Guard army. And he's got a Golden Boys army. Adeptus Custodes. Me, I've got Sisters of Battle and Dark Angels. I've always been a gamer, but I love painting and crafting terrain. It's actually, I'm more interested in that probably than actually playing games, because I'm at a stage in my life where I've played so many games. There's really nothing new to me. Most games don't impress me, but they're like frickin' just nothing new. Very seldom do I see something new and exciting. I don't know, that's just me. So I really enjoy the painting side, actually, more than the playing these days. But that said, I'm having a grand old time playing games I never played before. I was never big into skirmish games. And nowadays I'm starting to explore a lot of the skirmish games, like Kaid was talking about here. He's a big skirmish narrative type player. So I'm kind of new to that, the skirmish side of things. I mean, I played skirmish games before, but I never got into them. Games no longer impress Fritz. All that remains... I know, I sound terrible. All that remains is to hunt the most dangerous game, mankind. Yeah. Dark Angels and Grey Knights. Just love those guys. I am converting a Baneblade into Dark Angel's Shadow Sword. Nice. With Space Marine weapons. Not lore, but what the hell, right? Yeah, it sounds like you're having a good time, man. Slow dry. Slow dry and super glue. That's what this is, brother. But that's okay. I'm in no rush. These guys are gonna look super califragilistically awesome. They really are. Boy, that's a thin. How thin that is. Compared to, say, this one. That's quite a difference. I'll have to put a small ship on this one. One of those squadron deals. I don't need this one. Let's see, 2 more. All right, brother. Let's do the step slide here. Looks like the Loch Ness Monster. Hey, Nerdy Ogre. What's going on, man? How you been? Last I talked to you, you were supposed to come into our Rachel's Pathfinder 2 game. What happened? Where'd you go, man? We could have used you that night. Oh, man. We needed a cleric. We played 4 sessions of that one adventure, and only one of the PCs died. And guess who it was? That's okay, Nerdy. I'm only teasing you, man. You're welcome in our games anytime. She plays them every Wednesday. We're taking a couple weeks break right now. But she plays every other Wednesday. Although sometimes she's playing every week. But ideally it's every other Wednesday. She's got a load of adventures for us to play. She's pretty focused on Pathfinder 2, but I'll be playing some things on Wednesdays that aren't Pathfinder 2. So if you want to jump in some of the games I'm running, I got all kinds of stuff planned. You're welcome in those too. You play some Deadlands, for instance. I'm trying to help you out, dude. Get in there. Start playing with us. You'll be able to run your games for us. You want some steady players. I mean, once you get to know them, get you all set up. Well, they're supposed to be one-shots. They just end up taking more than one session to play, so they're more like 3 shots or 2 shots or 4 shots. But no campaign. My next campaign is on Sundays, and that's going to be a different game. Hyperborea, I think. You're welcome to play in my Hyperborea game. Once you're properly vetted. I've never actually played a game with you, Nerdy. Gotta make sure we all vibe. Right now, I think it's going to be Jesse and Kyle. I haven't even been taking players for my Hyperborea campaign yet. I'm taking a break from RPGs. Running them anyway. And hopefully, if I can find the players, I'd like to go back to playing some Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition. Man. My Sunday group, I don't know, I don't think they liked it as much as I had hoped. I didn't present it as well as I could have. Imagine that. So it's not really fair, but you know, when it comes to running an RPG, you want everybody at the table to actually want to be at the table and really get into the game that you're playing. You know, you can demo a game a few times and see who sticks and who doesn't. But ideally, you want everybody to be there at the table because they want to be there. Not because, we're all friends and I'm just here because we're friends and it's a game. It's okay. And this is the guy who doesn't have a rule book, you know. Maybe I could pull some of you guys in. Traveler's another one I have a tough time finding people. Because I really love Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Got the 1st edition stuff, never played it, planned on it, but we never played it. Second edition, I never got into. 3rd edition was a joke. It was put out by Fantasy Flight. Nobody liked it. Some people do. I think Patricia likes it. And then 4th edition, Cubicle 7. Their version is really good. It feels like 1st and 2nd edition. And I really like the game. I like it a lot. And I've only managed to play a couple sessions of the starter box with my Sunday group. And then we just stopped playing it. The game is so good, though. I think the problem was the way I presented the game, was running it. I was kind of like slipshod with it. Wasn't fully knowing how the rules work. And I didn't do a very good job at it, sadly. So, you know, it could have been done better. So I didn't impress my players. So nobody was really excited to come back and play again, although they would. It's just, I want them to be excited, but it was my fault. So hopefully if I could get a couple core players who absolutely love the game, who have the rule books and want to be in the game and want to play, the rest will follow. It can't be just me. So it's something I want to do. Maybe this year. Because I have other things planned for this year. But if I can, I'd like to fit that in. And we could play some Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Because I do love my Warhammer stuff. Clyde will play. Oh, yeah, Clyde, you were supposed to play in our Pathfinder game, too. Where'd you go? You guys didn't show up. I know, I'm only teasing you. I am such an idiot, says Alex. Also bought the Wraith Knight. Isn't that an Elder Titan? Just because it was so awesome. Bonkers. But it's gorgeous. Are you talking about the Forge World models? I'd play. Clyde will play. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. You'd play, Clyde? I'll take names. Anyone who's interested, I will take some names. Wraith Knight is very nice. Got that right, Clyde. Such a nice modelage. That's another thing. I feel bad for getting in a game where I'm not going to buy the rule book. Me sick. Clyde's sick, everybody. Hey, GM Cody, how's it going? How's it shaking? I'll make a mental note. Clyde and Cody would like to play in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. As well as Traveler. I know Cody's into Traveler. Or not Cody. I don't know if you are Cody. You probably are. Clyde. Clyde is into Traveler. I think. I could be getting confused. Traveler's something else I have planned for the future. Again, looking for players. I swear, it's like pulling teeth or hammering jello to a wall. Trying to get players for certain games. Pipes, it's just a game. Come on, you guys. It's not life or death. I can't commit. I can't do it. It's just a freaking game. What are you committing to? I know. I Traveler of Warhammer. Alright, Clyde. I bet you'll show up for those. I'll make a note of that. Because again, I want at least a few people who really want to be there and play the freaking game and have the rule books and know how to play and want to learn more and so on. That would be awesome. Because as much as I love my Sunday group, I mean, they're amazing people. Rachel, I love her. I love Rachel. And Kyle. And of course, Jesse. Ryan to some extent, but he's off and on when he plays. Byron, of course. These are my core players, and I love them all. They're such great players. And these kind of people are rare in life, you know, at the game table. It's hard to find people like this that vibe so well. And it would be great if they also liked games that I like, you know, like Warhammer 4E or Traveler or whatever. But a lot of the times they don't, you know. They're nerdy for things like Pathfinder, 2nd edition. And I would much rather play 1st edition than 2nd edition. Give me some 1st edition Pathfinder. Much better game. But anyway. So I'm basically going to have to find a new core group for a different day than Sunday that will play something like Warhammer FERP. That would be nice. Or Hyperborea, that's my next one actually. The plastic Wraith Knight, so you can hack and slash in it. Sword and shield, such a sleek and beautiful thing. Warhams. This is the last base. How long I've been on? 2 hours? Okay, maybe I'll start with the green stuff then. These first bases should be nice and dry now. guys get a good look at my fingers. I've been staring at them in the screen all this time. It's the only thing I'm showing. Sorry, you guys. It's not very exciting at the moment. Where's my phone? Now what am I going to look up here? Plastic Wraith Knight for 40k. Plastic Wraith Knight for 40k. So is that it? What did it do? So that's what you're talking about. This is for 40k. Wow. How big is that? $168. A massive plastic miniature for Warhammer 40,000. Add a tall and mighty linchpin to your Eldari army. A match for the largest enemy units, from battle tanks to Imperial Knights. Can choose from a flexible armory of weapons, Clyde, including heavy wraith cannons, a titanic ghost glaive, and a sun cannon. Did you hear that, Alex? A sun cannon. Wraith Knights are elegantly sinister as they are lethal. Their graceful build and slender limbs belie their tremendous resilience. They move with an agility utterly at odds with their colossal size, bounding into position before unleashing weaponry capable of turning the tide of battle at a moment's notice. This multi-part plastic kit, builds one towering Wraith Knight, an enormous ghost warrior for your Eldari armies in the game of Warhammer 40,000. It's ideal for striding through enemy lines, leaving devastation in its wake. Its left arm can be equipped with either a heavy war cannon or a... Read more. Alright. Okie doke. Now I know what you're talking about. So yeah, there he is. Ah. Okay, we got all the bases done for my project. It's a bigature, not a miniature. $168 for that bad boy. Wow. Really need to send some projects to Fritz with a bundle of money to help clear a shelf or something. Oh, that sounds wunderbar. I foolishly buy minis based on looks. Yeah, I saw that. Yes, you do. I think most of us do. Looks is everything these days. Right, Clyde? It's all about the looks. That's why I love the Sisters of Battle. Oh, my little army of girlfriends. I may take goodbye from you. 4 hours till wake up and work. Regards from Denmark. Alex, it was a real pleasure seeing you tonight. I hope you can come back in. Yeah, stay in touch. Watch your feed for when I do these. I usually do them around this time of day. Usually a few times a week, sometimes every freaking day. So, yeah, keep an eye. I'd love to see you again, man. There you go. Alex Jensen. All the way from Denmark. It's fantastic, isn't it, Clyde? Love seeing people from around the world joining me. Little old me and my Cheddarunskis. Good times. So I'm just wrapping that around the base of the bottom here. Give it a little added support. I mean, that's what green stuff is good for, right? Side sculpting. Fill in some gaps. Oh yes, Walter. Yeah. Why are you so loud? I think it's because he's losing his hearing. You don't realize how freaking loud he is. Seriously, I've noticed that about him. He is kind of a little hard of hearing. I have a feeling that plays a role. Why he's so loud, I mean, so obnoxiously loud. Oh, it was never like that before. Of course, being in the new house is another reason. He never did that in the old house. Never. I don't think I'm going to be able to do all of these. Meow, meow. What have we got here in the chat? 5 people? Fiver? What's the best game? What's the best miniatures game I've ever played? What's the best miniatures game you've ever played? I know you love Pulp Alley, but Doesn't necessarily mean you had the best games of your life with it. Maybe you did, maybe not. Mine would be Necromunda, back in the 90s, GW. Some of the greatest moments ever were in that game. Yeah. I got a lot of awesome moments for sure. Lots of different games. But the Necromunda stuff, the campaign we played was so freaking good. That's what I would say. I had a lot of good fun with Man of War too. Damn it, I put my thumbprint on it. Pardon the French. Johnny Reb 2nd edition for me. Oh, what a great game that is. The best version of Johnny Reb is 2nd edition. 3rd edition was ho-hum, too grand tactical. And the new Osprey version, Cross a Deadly Field or whatever it's called. That's no good. Never played 1st edition. I loved 2nd edition. That's a game that I sold, and I bought again on eBay. And I have it in my collection to this day. Unpunched. All the order chits. And what else did you say? 2nd edition 40K. That I didn't play a whole lot of. I played more 3rd edition. Jesse and my friends played 2nd edition, and I was collecting an army for it. But by the time... Well, I didn't even get close to finishing my army. But 3rd edition dropped. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's what I'm going to end up playing then. So that's what happened with me. But I got all the 2nd edition books and rules, and got all the 3rd edition stuff, all the codices. I got everything. 2nd edition and 3rd edition. And that's what I want to play again. Actually, I want to play 5th edition and 4th edition 40K because I never played them. That's my plan. Mordheim. Really enjoyed Flames of War back in the day of 1st and 2nd edition. Hard-fought battles, very enjoyable. Yeah? I never played 1st or 2nd. I have the 2nd edition rules, but I started playing with 3rd edition. Loved it. It's partly responsible for getting me back in the hobby. Flames of War's 3rd edition. So I've got a little nostalgia for that game because of that. I was raised a poor orc. Cal, is that you? That's Cal. I keep forgetting that's Cal. carrying his lappers around his shoulder. Hard day at work. These ships look great. Thanks, Cal. Drun, dun, drun, dun, drun. Doo-doo-doo. I use the speed paint as a kind of a wash. That's its base color. So what I did is I sealed it. And I'm going to paint over this. I'm going to paint the little plates and little details and, you know. It's not going to be just that color. 3D printed. Cal. Really liking them. I loved Mordheim, says Nerdy Ogre. That was my favorite tabletop minigame ever. It was a good choice. Although I didn't play as much of that as I did Necromunda. I still have some of the buildings for Mordheim that I had lovingly put together and based and everything. I still got a couple of the buildings. One of them is a big multi-building complex on a base. I showed one off in the stream, but I found another one. In fact, I found a lot of stuff from my Warhammer days. I'll be showing off. I was raised a poor orc child. Yes, I've been busy. Hadn't come by in a live show. Yeah, I noticed that. I see you've been chipping away at your miniatures. Keeping hope alive in the household of Caldum. Cal is the resident specialist at speed painting. He's my mentor. Him and Nerd's Nerd. Kinda. My inspiration. My muse. Oh, I gotta go get water. I gotta go out to the spring and grab some water for the dogs and cats. I don't want it to get dark. I don't be tromping around in the woods when there's bear out there. Gotta bring in some fresh spring water. That's right. Should have the pump fixed very shortly, actually. Maybe the next week or two. Maybe within the next few days. Actually, no. Yeah, finally get that water pump fixed. Don't tell anybody. They'll shut me down and take me out of here. Got no freaking water. That's okay. That's okay. I have to buy my water. Boy, it goes fast. I will say that. Freaking bottled water. I get it in a little 16-ounce containers. I don't buy it by the gallon or anything. I don't know why. Probably because I get more water. Get this that looks good. Wife's back home to visit her family, so I'm stuck with everything. You don't go to the creek for water? I go to the spring. It's not a creek, it's actually a spring. I keep calling it a creek, but it's not. It's a little spring. Comes up to the surface and forms a little pool. I go out there and I bring in a couple gallons. I boil it up for a few minutes. Get all the impurities out of there. Except anything that's a chemical, but there's no runoff going into it. That's good clean water, really. But you do have to boil it. And I use that for basic things. Not drinking. Although the cats and the dog love it. I don't mind. I recently acquired 7 used tackle boxes for a good price. Packing and organizing minis into them. Tackle boxes. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to be running into that problem. I got a couple, how do you describe them? They're like 4 foot tall or 3.5 feet or something. I don't know. And they're plastic and they're drawers. And I think, what are they? About maybe 15 inches wide and maybe 20 inches deep. And there's 4 drawers in them. In each one. I have 2 of them. There's like 4 pull-out drawers. It's really nice. And I figure what I'll do is I'll use those to store. I could use them for anything, but I'm gonna put terrain in there, and they've got rolling wheels on the bottoms, so I could slide them around my game room. I don't think they'd go under the table, but close to the table, and I can keep them there and keep. Most of my usable terrain that I use all the time, I could keep them in these drawers, pull them out, we can load up the table, and keep the less used stuff, the bulk stuff, like big giant hills and things, keep them in tubs underneath the table like I always have done and I'm doing right now. But just having, this terrain, like all the terrain I just did for 40K and for Dead Zone, what am I going to do with them? Right now they're all sitting on my table ready to be played with. I have nowhere to put them. unless I pack them in boxes or tubs underneath the game table. But what I'd like to do is use these little drawers that slide around, and I could just, they're always there, easy accessible. I don't want to put stuff on shelves because it'll get dusty. So I've got that figured. I just got to implement it. Storing the figures is going to be an issue. Eventually I'm going to run out of foam cases that I have. I've got I got a bunch of cases that I travel with for traveling with my miniatures. But I think a mosquito bit me. Either that or a spider. What's going on here? Seven used tackle boxes. I got a bunch of Plano boxes, mostly for my dice and my board games. And Flames of War components and stuff. Craft storage. Yeah, that's what they were previously. Craft storage. They're really nice. I'm going to bring them over here. I cleaned out the one today. It's in the other house. And I'm going to bring that over. I still got to wipe it clean around the outside. A little dusty and stuff. But otherwise they're like brand new. So to me that's a jackpot. Because storage is an issue. Three of the tackle boxes are from Plano. Yeah, I've been collecting those. I'm only really using one of them. I think I got 5 more. They're nice, the kind that have the hinge open top or flip over and the bottom opens up, and they got all kinds of different, Plano. So I guess you could use that for storing miniatures. Smaller scale stuff for sure. I use them for little dice and gaming components for various board games or miniatures games. Like rubies and stuff. I got all kinds of stuff like that. Poker chips. Things you could use in your games. Those little planos are great for storing that stuff. I'm just getting myself settled in this house, honestly. I've been in here just over a year, and I'm still getting settled. It's taken a while, man. I don't even have a game room set up yet. I do now. And I'm finally getting it sorted. That's why I got all my planos just waiting to be had. Waiting to be used. Because I'm just doing it now. Looks like I need a little extra here. A little imperfection. Let's straighten that up there. Let's skim off the bottom here. It's a little sticker outer. Oh. No. Could use a file to this. Probably be a better idea. And once again, I made a big thumbprint. Looks good. Straighten it up. Looking all professional. Oh, I got 3 of them done. Maybe I'll do one more. It's taking forever. So it takes me about 10 minutes to do one. That's what it's coming to. 10 minutes to do one. Using my sprue goo to repair some spots of some plastic rats. I customized them a bit. That's right, you're doing the sprue goo. Cal's a master of the sprue goo. Somebody posted over on Discord. Let's take a peek. Coca-Cola case of quart bottles. 1/48 G scale diorama accessory. Oh yeah? I'm not gonna click it now. Airwolf. You guys, crazy, crazy. Actually, where was it? Miniatures, mini wargaming. Yeah, I will click it now. Let me go over there and see what's going on with these Coca-Cola bottles. Oh, there they are. Little crate. Haha. 148 scale. It's like a bolt action. 28 mil. Is that what they call G scale? I didn't know that. $1.95. Larry G scale. Includes one Danbury mint case of 24 bottles as pictured. What are they made out of? O gauge, O scale, 148. See a lot of comments. What are they made out of, though? Brand Danbury Mint. So what are they? Clay? What is that? Ceramic? Danbury Mint. 1/4 inch high. Oh, that's tiny. Plastic quality pieces. So they're plastic quality. What does that mean? Plastic quality? They're plastic then. So $1.95, $4.95 shipping. So essentially $6 for one. Includes one Danbury mint case of 24 bottles as pictured. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, 24 bottles. That's still pretty cool. So $1.95 each, $4.95 shipping. So you'd probably buy a bunch of them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like them. They're kind of cool. You could have them in your games, laying around. You know, bolt action, dead zone, whatever. And it'd be cool seeing a stack of Coca-Cola bottles lined up. I mean, that's immersion. Come on, because that's a real world thing. You know, it's an anchor point. I like it. And quite comical, too. So, let me see. Am I logged into my eBay? Is this my eBay? No, I gotta sign in. Let me sign in. Let me sign in and save this. No, I don't want to use fingerprints to log in. Jeez. I don't want to confirm my account. No, the phone number's wrong. Okay, whatever. Come on. There. Let me add this to... add to... I don't want to add it to the cart. Where's the favorite thing? Just has buy it now, add to cart, and see all detail. Where's the watch thing? I want to add it to my watch list. Oh, wait a minute. Is this my old account? What is this? I think this is my old account. Oh, jeez. You know what? Let me get out of here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll come back to that later. In my actual account. I don't know what that was. Okay, Nerdy Yoga, you take care, man. Okay, Cal, you take care too. Good to see you again. I am the ambience for whatever you're doing today. Whatever that might be. I'm going to do at least this one here. Maybe what I should do is just put it on the top of the rectangle that's already there on the base, instead of going around it. Yeah, that's kind of silly. They shouldn't leave us alone. Yet up to no good. Is that all that's left? Yeah, we're down to 2 viewers. Holy smokeroonies. People get tired of hearing me. I wear people out, I'm telling you. My chats, my streams have been huge at times. I've had like 50, 60, 70 people in these chats. Most of the time it's maybe a dozen or half a dozen. And I just wear people out. I'm here for so long. People come and go, and there's these spurts every now and then. It's like, wow. I'm like hitting everybody. Especially when I do them late in the evening. I used to do them at like 3:30 in the morning. And all the people in Australia would be joining in, because it's like their afternoon. Here I am, 3 in the morning, sucking on coffee. Time to do some painting, everybody. It's a good time. Just working around the clock, giving everybody a chance to join in the madness. That's what I was telling myself anyway. It's all good. Gotta get you back painting, Clyde. Of course, I think you're sick. If you're sick, you're not gonna get devoted or nothing. I know that feeling. Been sick in years, though. But I can remember how bad it can be. Well, you just don't want to do anything. If you're just not in the mood, it's not going to happen. The only way to do it is just to pull out the brush and just do it. It's one of those things where you get into it by just doing. You can't think about it and wait for yourself to get comfortable and in the mood. Most of the time, if you just grab your brush, pick up some figures, and just start spreading the paint around. Just random. Just do it. Most of the time, that will get you to actually focus and get a figure out and actually start doing it. That's my experience anyway. It's just one of those things. But of course, the whole challenge is to get up and do that. Right? I don't wanna paint. I don't wanna play game. I don't wanna. I just wanna sit here and stare at the screen. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I get that way. Do you do pre-made characters for your RPGs? Or let people do their own thingies? What kind of question is that? You mean pre-gens? Do you do pre-made characters, so pre-gen, for your RPGs? We do both. If somebody knows the game and they want to make their own character, go for it. I'll tell you the parameters and you create something. Or I just supply people with a pre-gen because it's convenient. When I play Pathfinder 2e with Rachel, I always play Marisol. She's the iconic rogue in Pathfinder. And I always play her. I always play her. Either her or the half-elf iconic swashbuckler. I can't remember her name, but she's the swashbuckler, and she's another. I play female characters for some reason. I don't know why. Hey, I like the ladies. I can't help it. I end up playing them in role-playing games. Usually elves with long, pointy ears, or half-elves with a little bit shorter in ears. I always want to paint. I always want to paint. Also, I have baby on my lap. Yeah, that's a thing. I get it. One of my good friends, Ryan, he comes into the chats now and then, usually in the text chat on YouTube or Discord. But he's one of my core rogue members for my RPGs, but he seldom gets to play. He seldom gets to play his favorite game with me because he's got, I think, 3 young girls that he's raising with his wife, and boy, it's got him busy. Jesse's like that too. He's just got a newborn, 1 year old. Jake's 9, but yeah, he just had a newborn as well. He's got no time for stuff. When he plays with us, it's typically from work, so he's playing remotely on his phone. Of course, he's moving in here with me, so he's going to be in next door, so he'll be able to play from home. Yeah. How old are your kids, Clyde? How many kids do you have, I should ask? Do you have young infants? Because that's rough. Not the life for me. Not the life for me. Yeah, I gotta fill that up again. What are we at? 2 hours and 54 minutes. Boy, it's slow. Got 4 of these done. I'll give it a break. I could sit here and just talk now. Someday I'll paint again. Hold on. got one about to start school, so about 5, somewhere in there. And the other is almost 6 months. Oof, wow. Alright, so you got some young kids. Yeah, I don't know how you have time to do any kind of hobbying. Jeez. Are you retired? Are you working? On top of that? Boy, when do you have time to do anything? But yeah, my point is, Ryan's the same way. He's got no time. Nothing. Every once in a while, the wife takes the kids and goes on a trip to see other family, and he's home alone for like a weekend. Yeah, that happened not long ago, and boy, he took advantage of that. That's when he gets to play in our campaign, and I think the way he timed it with his wife, it was around the time of PaizoCon, which has a digital side to it, and he was spent all day on the digital side of it, PaizoCon. Playing in remote games. Because he can't do that otherwise. Well, actually, I can't quit yet. I've got this to do. I got another one. I got to use this stuff up. Actually, I don't think I got enough here. So you know what? I won't do that. Let's take this, and we're going to put it on one of my Sisters of Battle bases. Hopefully your kids will grow up and they'll be avid gamers. That's the dream. Whether they're sons or daughters, they're going to be playing some games with Daddy. That's the dream. Right? Let's just flatten that out, texture it up or something. I'm not going to try and make a rock or anything, just throw it on there. Never waste. So I got 4 more bases to do. The painting's already begun. I got half of them base coated. Got 4 more where the bases are ready to have a figure put on. Maybe I'll do that tonight. And I got 4 final bases that I'll do tomorrow, I guess. Nice little slow pace to it. No rush. Army retired. Oh, good. So you got the time now to spend with your kids and that whole thing. Well, that's good. That's good. Hopefully they'll want to play all this stuff. Yeah, I know, right? That's the dream. Ah, we're still down to 2 viewers. What time is it? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on a Monday. Yeah, I very, very seldom am on lit this time on Mondays. Especially Mondays. So I don't know what that kind of turnout would be. 2 people. Yikes. Yeah, I hear you. Walter DiCazza. Otherwise, I need to adopt some more sensible kids that want to play games. How many kids do you got? I don't think you're in a position to be adopting no more kids. I'm thinking you got 2. That's enough. I think 1's enough. Of course, you don't want her to be lonely. Gotta have a sibling. Yeah, I think Ryan has 3. They're all frickin' girls. Yeah, that's rough. 2 boys. That's not too bad. 2 boys. Yeah, there's a good possibility they're going to be gamers. They're close in age, too. So, yeah, that's probably, if one gets in it, they'll probably both get in it at the same time. So they'll have a heyday playing daddy's games. So there's something to look forward to. With me, it's my nephew. My niece. Jesse's my nephew. All I have is nephews and nieces. They're all over the place. I've got a niece that lives down the road from me. She's like in her 20s, I think. Practically raised her. I've got another niece and another nephew somewhere in the world. I don't know where they are. Jesse's my nephew, and then he's got a kid. That's my grandnephew. And he's got a daughter, so that's a grandniece. And who else? Who else? Oh, yeah. Up New York, I've got another niece, Jesse's sister. And she just had a kid. I never see him except on Facebook. He's, God, how old is he? He's younger than Jake. I think he's like maybe 7. 6 or 7. Yeah, so I got nieces and nephews all over the place. But only Jesse and Jake, they're the only ones that play games and are in the hobby. The only 2 I've had the chance to introduce to the hobby. And you know what? I'm happy with that. I don't need kids. That works for me. Let somebody else have the kids and bring them in. I used to dump Warhammer stuff on my youngest cousin. Just dump them on him. You've got a large clan. You think? I guess so. That's not bad. They're all over the place. But I don't know. Jake is special to me. His father, of course, Jesse. I got into the hobby when he was, I think he was about 9. And Jesse ended up living here with us. We got legal custody of him when he was about 11 years old. His father had passed away, my brother. And yeah, so he grew up here in this house like a sibling, and he's not far off in age from me. But yeah, so he was always like a brother to me growing up, a younger brother. That was kind of cool. But I was his uncle. And so I'm close to him. He got introduced into the hobby really early. So he's in the hobby. It's just that ever since he got married 15 years ago, It's like just no hobby exists at all. The wife won't let him do that kind of stuff. And I get it. He's not alone in that. And then having kids, can't do it. But yeah, he gets into it now. Remotely for the most part, playing my RPGs, and that's kind of his hobby. It's about all he can do. But now he's moving up here, so it's totally different for him and Jake. And now I'm bringing Jake into it, around the same age that he was. So that's really cool. So it feels pretty good. Yeah, my brother passed away at 42 years old. Drugs and alcohol. He died of cirrhosis of the liver in the hospital, and it was pretty brutal. But that's the lifestyle he lived. And yeah, 42, man. I've talked about this before, but yeah, I've commented so many times that he was 42 years old when he passed away, and I have a picture of him when he was 42 in the other house, and looking at him, he looked like he was about 72. And he's only 42. I mean, he looked bad. Because he was, he was that much closer to death. Drunk himself to death. It's pretty brutal. Yeah, 42, man. He was a veteran. He was a biker. That's the kind of lifestyle he lived. So yeah. It's hard to believe. 42 years old. That is so freaking young. Cirrhosis, man, it's bad. Not the years, it's the mileage. Yeah. We talk about Ian, who just passed away, my really, really good friend. I consider him family. Who passed away in December. And that was pretty hard. But I'm mentioning him because I have a feeling, well, I kind of know, that he... I asked him if he had cirrhosis of the liver. I straight up front asked him that because he had told me that he was suffering liver and kidney damage. In other words, his liver and kidney were failing him. And I had asked him, "What, do you have cirrhosis?" And he said, "Nah." I asked him, "What are you drinking? What's going on?" And he made like he wasn't drinking, but I know he was drinking. Now, he wasn't a heavy drinker. He loved his Stella Artois beer. And he was always drinking a few cans. I don't know, maybe every night. But when he would be in the chats, he'd be drinking, and he would do that. He wouldn't get drunk. He'd have a good time, and that's how he relaxed. And the last few years of his life, he had put his wife into a care home because she was essentially losing her mind. Her mind was going. And I think she's still alive. And when he did that, and it was really hard for him to do that because he's been taking care of her for a long time. Really sad. And once he put her in a care home, he kind of found his own little freedom. And he met up with some people that were part of some social group over there in Yorkshire, somewhere over there. And he'd get together with them for extended periods of time and just hang out and sightsee. It was just a social group. And I think he was doing some drinking when he was with them. Not crazy, outlandish drinking, but, I think he would. It was a regular feature, when you're hanging out with your friends and stuff. And I have a suspicion that contributed a lot to putting him in the hospital and actually doing him in. Because I can't see it. 71 years old, you're telling me that your liver and kidneys are failing you? And you're not doing anything to bring that about? Like drinking? Yeah, you're drinking. That few beers every day or every other day is going to catch up with you, man. That'll do it too. So I think that had something to do with it, which is a shame. But, he was happy and he was living his life and enjoying it. So what are you going to do? And there you go, folks. Da 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 da. Da da da. Social clubs then in the U.S., it seems. Yeah. Be they gaming or whatever. But as my mom noticed, everyone always has a drink in their hand there. Yeah. I think, though, he was really happy. And he was working on a book. He was writing a book at the time. Which is him. He would be doing that. And he was doing a lot of stuff besides just gaming and stuff. What a shame. He's one of the reasons I did the Winter Warmer. You remember? I think you were around when Ian was here. I don't know, maybe you weren't. But I was talking about, we're going to do the Winter Warmer, and he was going to spend his winter at home. Instead at the other house, he had a cottage house, and that's where he would hang out with those other people. But he spends his winters at the main house, and he was going to go back to the main house, and he had all his projects lined up. He was going to do the bolt action Gentleman's War, which is the Desert Rats stuff. He was going to work on that project. And that was going to be his Winter Warmer challenge. But sadly, he went in the frickin' hospital and never left. Just weeks after that. So, yeah. Oh, well. Onwards we go. Anyway, folks. Just cleaning up some of these bases a little bit in preparation for a little bit of the green stuff and putting a ship on them. Little preparatory. They're pretty solid bases, though. I like them. Fleet Fritz Nears. What is that? Fleet Fritz Nears? Fleet? Okay. Okay, Fleet. Yeah, we got one viewer. Down to one viewer. I'm going to be alone here in a minute. I think it's just me and Clyde. Literally. That's all right. I'm going to be on here a little bit longer. Got to clean the bottoms of these bases, and I think I just did that. I got one more. What time is it? It's 8:33. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, it's dark out. I got to make a trip to the spring in the dark. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to have to call it here. It is, too. It's freaking dark out there. That's early yet, though. No bears are around. Gotta watch. I'm telling you. Fleet-footed. That's what that is. Well, I'm going to call it. I did the last base. Just so I could go out and get my freaking water at the creek, jeez, I can't remember. The spring. Gotta go out behind the house in the woods. Don't fall in a well. It's not well that ends well. It's not in a well. It's a little open pond. It's a small little thing. I just go out there and step halfway in it, drop the jugs in, bring them in. Yeah, although there is a well. Quite dangerous, actually, but I don't haul water out of that. I could. Yeah. All right, anyway, Clyde, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. We'll see who shows up tomorrow if I'm on. And, folks, we're going to call it here as we make preparations for the next session. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to playing some Void Admiral. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great game. Pretty soon I'm going to start videoing this stuff, all these games I'm playing. I'm just getting things out of my system, learning to play, and getting a nice assortment of games under my belt, and getting the vibe back. And then the videos will come, I hope. Because I want to share that stuff with you guys and tell a little story, a little narrative for you guys, and roll some dice. Maybe show off Jake in action. And Jesse, of course, as well, and their armies. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it, Clyde? Fantastic. Yeah. Things to look forward to. Clyde, $2. Ka-ching! I see that, Clyde. Thanks for that, man. You don't have to do that, you know. Ka-ching! Cheers for the chat. There you go. Always here to oblige, my good friend. Avoid lady disturbing swords in the pond. Distributing swords in the pond. Yeah, if something shiny comes out of the middle of the pond, I'm going to haul ass out of there. Nope, no thanks. Ching. We'll save that for another day, I think. Yeah. Thanks for that, Clyde. Very well appreciated. And folks, man, 3 hours and 18 minutes. Not bad. We'll do this again. I'll try to do one tomorrow because I want to get more done with these ships. So I appreciate it, Clyde. Everybody else who joined in. And yeah, we'll call it there so I can get some water immediately. And till you too, Clyde. So folks, you guys hang in there, and you know why. It's only going to get better. And that's the truth. That is the truth. We'll talk to you all soon, folks. Take care, Clyde. Everybody else. Till next time.